Hey, fancy sir?
Yes.
How much for these 2 cats?
Those in a pair, I'd be willing to let go for 15 gold.
How about 5?
Roll a persuasion check. Alviva has seen other people haggle and is now going to try it herself.
I got a 7.
You don't quite understand money. You say, they tell you number, you say smaller number, and then they give?
This is what I've observed, and now I'm trying to take it into practice, but it is extremely wooded. It's like, how about 5?
How about small number?
Okay, so with a 7... He just he looks at you and he has this like mock offended look on his face as he puts his hand to his chest. He goes, I'll have you know, those were recovered from a tomb here on Harena at great expense and danger. I would not be able to let them go for anything less than 15.
Alviva looks very sheepish and it's like, okay. All right. 15 gold. Sure.
All right, mark off 15 gold. You have 2 kitty statues.
One of them with skin.
Yes, the one with skin is mine, and I give Cacophony the bony, scary one.
Excellent. Thank you, dear.
Jillian just nervously cups the pearl that she's like slowly attuning to and says, I feel like I should go. I feel deeply uncomfortable with the preceding events.
Artie pops back in.
Remember, we have dinner tonight.
Yeah, about that, is that all of us dinner, or is that you? Is that date dinner for you?
Well, I would appreciate a date dinner. She did seem a little on the awkward side, so I don't want to overpressure her, so I'd really appreciate everybody.
Okay, so the date comes later.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
The only thing I wanted to check also at the supply store is water. I just want to, I don't know. I just want to make sure that we're, stocked up on water.
Oh, is that supplied as part of the expedition?
Yeah.
I wouldn't worry too much because one of us can create water and do it as a ritual.
This is true.
Okay, never mind.
And another can just summon water out of nowhere.
And not controlled in the slightest.
And not control it in the slightest.
I can find it, but only if the land offers it, and I'm feeling like this one doesn't.
Cacophony, you got that water bottle on hand with the water from...
Yes.
Yeah. Here. She just kind of pours some of it in a vial, twists up the little, plugs it up, puts it around her neck. Okay, cool, thanks.
Yeah.
There's also the very large reservoir of free water that the town is sitting on.
There is that, yes.
It just doesn't taste as good as magic water.
I would not put it past this guy to try to sell you water that he got for free from the reservoir, but you can do the same thing.
What time of day is it? It's afternoon
it's
or
edging
something?
a little past noon by this point. Although it is kind of hard to tell what with the sun being, orange.
Do you think we're gonna ride camels? I'm hoping it's camels.
She said stables.
I think horses would have a hard time here. I feel like it's gotta be camels.
I mean, horses can hang out in desert climbs pretty well, but camels do better.
Artie, do you know what camels are?
Not at all.
I want lunch. Do you guys want lunch?
Yeah, let's get lunch.
We can do lunch.
Is it early enough for brunch?
It's always time for brunch. Brunch is a
Maybe
state
they know
of
about
mind.
brunch here. Let's see if they know brunch.
Let's see if they know brunch.
Someday we're gonna find another planet where people know brunch outside of us and Kryn.
I will also note that the stables are here in town. If you want to see what you'll be riding tomorrow, you can go look.
Oh,
I want to
okay,
say that
yes.
a surprise for the morning.
No, I want to know. I want to know. I'll go by myself. I'll meet you guys later.
Okay, so Alviva's off to the stables and the rest of you are off to find brunch, I guess.
Yes.
Okay. We'll start with Alviva.
Me and Nompling.
You and Nompling are headed out to the stables. The stables are kind of on the other side of the legal office, and as you circle around, you can see that they're basically just, it's a bare stretch of land, there's a fence, and there's a shed. They're starting to detect a theme with a lot of the construction in this town.
Mm-hmm.
And as you approach, you can see a bunch of large shapes milling around in the field. They don't quite look like camels. As you get closer, you see that they're kind of goat-like in shape, but the size of a horse.
Ooh.
But they don't have any fur. Instead, they've got like dry, sort of elephant-like skin. They have no visible mouths.
No!
And there is a large, flat sail of skin that stretches back from their forehead between their horns.
What?
And they've got these long, prehensile tails.
I'm troubled.
What?
I've become more and more horrified
What are
the
you
longer this
describing
description
to
has
me?
gone on. It's some...
Are these leggy sharks?
Oh, what? So they're like naked goat-shaped...
The sail is sort of like, it's almost like a triceratops frill off the back of the head.
And they have no mouth?
No visible mouths.
Oh, the visible part does not bode well.
Are there any people around?
There is one elven woman hanging around looking very bored. She's got a pitchfork. There's no hay, so you don't know why she has a pitchfork, but she has one.
For the aesthetic. I wander up looking exceedingly and increasingly confused and troubled the more I get a good look at these things. Hi, what are those? Ma'am, what are those animals?
She kind of looks you up and down and goes, "Oh, those are sailheads."
Sailheads.
Yeah.
What? How do they eat? They don't have a mouth.
Oh, they eat sunlight.
Are they plants?
Kind of.
Oh, for a beautiful brief moment, I thought that maybe they would absorb nutrients through their hooves, and it was just going to be a whole bunch of andalites.
Yeah, we tried having like horses and camels and great swans around here, but unfortunately the environment was too harsh for them, and we were spending way too much money keeping them fed, so we just imported the sailheads here instead, and we don't really have to feed them, and they do pretty well out in the sun, such as it is.
How do you give them treats and snacks?
We give them a nice little pat on the neck.
Okay, alright. I'm gonna go hang out with them.
That's
all right. I'm already jumping over the fence.
pitchfork comes swinging around, and she goes, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I gotta keep people away from these because they're the property of the Elven Navy, and some of the treasure hunters have gotten kind of handsy, so you cannot go anywhere near these unless you're cleared to by the captain.
Okay, we are riding them tomorrow. I just wanted to, get to know them.
Then you can You can get to know them tomorrow. In the meantime, my job is to keep people away from them. So if you could move, that would be great.
Oh, but I'm pretty sure I could talk to them. I'm not sure how because I don't have mouths.
I'd say you can try that tomorrow when you've got the appropriate paperwork.
I have papers. I show my papers, which are expedition papers, which are probably not the right thing.
They're not the right papers.
See? Papers.
Those are not the right papers. You're going to need different papers. And she just kind of starts nudging you with the pitchfork.
What if I let you pet my goat?
No.
And I can pet your animals. We can do a trade.
You gotta leave. Nope.
God damn it. Fine. God damn it. I return in a huff.
As you are walking back, you look over at the reservoir and you see that there is one absolutely gigantic swan kind of swimming placidly in the reservoir.
Never mind, I'm not going back. Swan time. I run over to the reservoir and just start wading in a little bit, and I say, "Hello, beautiful swan," and I have beast speech. I can speak with animals at will. No spell slot needed, so I am honking, I guess. I don't know.
She's never actually met a swan, has she?
No.
This will go so badly.
So you get close to this swan, and the first thing you realize that when the word absolutely massive definitely applies. This is a horse-sized swan. This swan could carry 2 elves on its back. And as you approach it looks over, and its wings go up, and it starts to hiss at you. And flap its wings in your direction, very, very menacingly.
Now, hold on. We're cool. My name's Alviva. What's your name?
You don't get my name.
Oh,
Fuck
why
off.
not? Oh,
You're not an elf. Fuck off.
oh, you're a racist swan.
You're not the captain. Fuck off.
What, just because I don't have pointy ears, we can't have a simple fucking conversation?
You're not the captain. Fuck off. This thing is not particularly intelligent.
I might be nicer than the captain. How about you fuck off? You're
You're
swimming
not the
around in this
captain.
big
Fuck
lake.
off. I'll bite you. I'll bite you so bad.
I'll fight you. I can fight you. Don't test me.
Break your arms with my wings and you'll drown out here in the reservoir. Fuck off.
I'll fucking strangle your giant ass swan neck. Look how much neck you have. That's a weak point.
My neck is
You have
magnificent.
so much-
Fuck off.
Oh, fuck you, racist swan. Go to hell.
So you're
Stupid
swimming
swan.
back?
Yeah, I'm going back.
Okay.
Alviva like slams open the door to the bar and like her pants are dripping wet and she's just like, the swan is racist.
I will note there is no door to the bar. It's just a gate around the yard, so you just stomp through the gate.
Alright.
Have you met a swan?
Do they have brunch here?
You're looking around. There are a couple of people eating food, so you know they serve food, and there is a halfling woman behind the bar in the shed there.
Cacophony approaches the halfling woman. By chance, do you know what brunch is?
I'm a halfling, darling. Of course I know what brunch is.
Oh, thank the gods. It's been so long since we've been in civilization that actually knows brunch.
Please, do you have mimosas?
I don't have much in the way of oranges. I do have canned peaches. That might work.
Yes, Bellinis,
That's
yes,
fine.
Bellinis.
Bellinis are great. Do you have French toast?
I've got eggs and I've got bread, so I could probably do some French toast. I don't have any powdered
love
sugar, though.
That's okay. I can live without it. I can have some of the peaches.
Smoked salmon? Do you have smoked salmon?
But I have salmon jerky because it keeps a little better.
That's fine.
Okay.
And eggs.
You're our hero in this moment.
Can we have your name so we may sing your praises?
My name's Josephine, dear.
It's great to meet you, Josephine.
It's wonderful to know you.
She immediately sets about making brunch for you guys.
Oh, finally civilization. I thought this place was a shanty town, but no, it's civilized.
At which point Alviva comes stomping and yelling about racist swans.
I mean, have you met a swan?
Yes, there's a swan out there. It's a racist swan.
I think,
Almost all swans are certainly racist.
Yeah, I'm pretty.
Most
Swans strike me as
swans
like
are
they're probably
racist.
unilaterally racist.
Yeah.
Oh,
They're
it's
all
true.
dicks.
I'd never talked to a swan before, and I've only seen pictures of them, but they seem very beautiful. I thought that they would be like nice, elegant, refined.
I've never spoken to a single swan in my life, but I can assure you I've always assumed they were dicks ever since one bit my sister.
I mean, they're like hot geese. Geese are awful.
Yeah.
This is true. I know that geese are awful.
Do you want something that will cheer you up, Alviva?
Yes.
Josephine, the proprietor of this place, knows what brunch is.
Oh, excellent. Do they have little meats and cheeses?
Yes.
Almost certainly.
Eggs.
Yes.
She's gonna try a
Eggs.
French toast.
Mushrooms?
Ooh, haven't asked about mushrooms.
Ooh, like vinegared mushrooms.
Oh,
That's
I would kill for a veggie omelet.
yes.
These are all words.
Oh, that's
Are-
right. You don't know about brunch yet.
I think you'd like brunch, Arturos.
Do you know about brunch?
Brunch is a beautiful thing.
Do they have fish brunch?
Funch.
I like fish.
French. Do
So-
they have funch?
Tell me this, Arturos. Do you like breakfast?
Who doesn't like a little mackerel in the morning?
That's good. Do you like lunch?
It
Think of the most delicious lunch you've ever had. You like that lunch.
But make it breakfast.
will make it breakfast.
Now, combine that and your best breakfast and you get brunch.
And then lots of mixed drinks.
Yes.
So I have some.
And just relaxing in the sunlight with friends.
And then you go to hot yoga.
Then you go to hot yoga, sometimes with goats.
Why do they call it hot yoga? Is there a regular yoga?
Yes, there's a regular yoga, hot yoga. They actually do it in a steam room, so you're all sweaty.
Well, I know, but like,
Tell
Wait,
me about the goats.
did you do regular yoga somewhere? They only had hot yoga on E-Time.
What's happening?
There was regular yoga actually just west of Olivet's castle.
There was?
I don't know what's happening anymore.
Well, shit.
You had to get a membership, and it was mostly taken up by all the very, very, very white mothers in the area. But I snuck in a few times.
That sounds right.
It's okay, Artie. I'm lost too.
I hung out with pirates. I don't know what brunch is.
Well, we can fix that.
We're fixing that now.
I probably knew what brunch was. That bastard, he probably knew the whole time and didn't tell anyone.
Keeping the secret of brunch.
They weren't good enough for brunch.
Holds the power of brunch in his hands. Alright, so we're waiting on brunch.
So what are we riding tomorrow, Alviva?
Oh, it's messed up. They don't have mouths.
Okay.
It's messed up.
Do they have legs?
Yes.
Heads.
They look like... Yeah, they got
Like,
the basic shape. They got the
all
shape
the regular
like...
body parts?
Except the mouth. They don't have the mouth.
That's weird.
It is, and they've got a big, like a big disc on their head. And apparently they eat the sun. They eat sunlight. They're like a plant, but they're also like a horse.
That's fine.
Huh. Okay.
I really wanted to get to know them. I'm curious if I can talk to them. I'm pretty sure that they must have body language. I mean, I used to kind of talk to animals before I suddenly could hear all of them speak. And that was just like a body language thing, so I don't know if the lack of mouth will be a problem. But there was a nasty lady with a pitchfork who wouldn't let me touch the animals.
I mean, probably for good reasons. They're other people's animals.
Yeah, everybody here seems super duper shady.
Yeah, I don't like these people in this planet.
I like all these people. They all seem fine to me.
They were poking me with a pitchfork, and the Swan is racist. I don't know what there is to like about this planet.
Oh, they're there. We won't have to see that many people once we actually get the expedition underway.
It is very hot here.
Yeah, it's hot.
I like hot. It means I can wear less clothes.
I mean, you can wear less clothes whenever you want, honestly.
I know, I do.
Like, you don't really let the heat stop you.
That's true. It's just nicer, you know. I don't have to worry so much about being cold while wearing less clothes.
And also everybody else is wearing less clothes.
Exactly, it makes everything so much better.
Uh-huh.
Just very thirsty. All the time.
No, that's cacophony.
No, that's Rio.
Listen, we all be thirsty.
In character.
Yeah, I mean, they look cool. I'm allowed to see them tomorrow, which I'm looking forward to, because I think they're weird, but I want to get to know them. I think that they'll be pretty cool. They're like, well adapted for the desert and stuff. They got legs. I think it'll be good. I'm feeling like the frill is going to be nice to hold on to. I think that they'll be easy to ride.
See,
apparently
there you
they like to
go.
be pet on the neck, so I very much want to pet them on the neck. Pet your weird horse, rhino plant on the neck and make friends.
You got it.
See, there you go.
And see, look on the positive side.
Yeah.
That was the positive side.
Just think about that, not the skeleton infestation.
Oh, you had to mention it.
Jill, you just brought it down again.
Look, we are becoming increasingly adept at dealing with skeletons.
Just because I can doesn't mean I want to.
You just knock them over. Make funny sounds.
Yeah, sometimes they do a little dance.
They have hats. They have spiffy hats.
I wonder what would happen if I played the song Spooky Scary Skeletons to a bunch of skeletons.
I think they'd probably tell you that was offensive.
Yeah.
It was made by a meat bag. So, Captain's fine with everything. They're going to try and hold the fort down on the ship and, try not to strand us in the desert. But I am going to probably have to keep a sending handy most days. So, keep that in mind with your healing potions and everything.
Thumbs up. The nice thing with that new power stone is you'll always have a sending hand handy.
That is true. That works well.
Oh, that's right. Hand that over.
What?
Give it real quick. Give it to me.
I'm not done attuning yet.
You have to attune?
Yeah, I mean, look, this is one of those things you gotta, hold it for a while until, it's yours.
You gotta hold it?
I thought attune was a bard thing.
Yeah, I thought you just...
I mean, I can do attune, but to use a magic item, dears, you have to attune to it, which means being in contact with it for a long while.
You kind of have to, and she's kind of doing some fucking contact juggling with this thing.
Oh my god.
You gotta, just kind of hold it and make sure it, recognizes your energies and you recognize its, and, it's kind of a weird... Wow, it sounds a lot weirder when I say it out loud.
It's like a pet? He has to sniff you?
Yeah, you kind of have to, it's like when you get a new pet and you have to like make sure that it knows your scent and everything. Does that make more sense?
When you're done with it, hand it over.
Why?
So that I can make it pretty. Why else?
Okay.
I have wires and tools and what do you want? Necklace?
Oh.
Earring?
How big a pearl is it?
Slightly larger than average pearl.
Bracelet?
With your bracers?
I don't actually have bracers. That's just on my character sheet. That's just on my character art. I don't actually have bracers.
Oh, okay.
I've got plate armor now.
Alright, you do have plate armor now.
Yeah.
Sure. A bracelet.
Sure.
That should be fine. Make it swirly, like your armband.
Yeah, actually.
Alright. Well, fun project for next time. I say this as I'm currently doing macrame. So that's where I am.
That's your headspace.
In the apocalypse.
Mm-hmm. Macrame.
All right, so as you guys are wrapping this conversation up, I get the feeling it's winding down. Josephine comes over with plates for you guys. There is French toast, no powdered sugar, but she has managed to reduce some of the peach syrup down to like a consistency that's pleasant on the French toast.
Oh, God.
There's salmon jerky. There is just regular toast. There is some salt pork that has been cut very thin to sort of imitate bacon.
Yes.
Are there omelets?
There are bellinis. There are omelets. There's one thing she's got a lot of. It's eggs.
Why?
Josephine, you are amazing.
Are they swan eggs?
Why are there so many eggs? Wait, where do these eggs come from? Are these racist eggs?
What?
You hear clucking from behind the shed.
Okay, but are they weird, like skinless, no mouth chickens?
I think Josephine kind of looks at you and says, "You can go check if you want."
Please let her go check. She needs a positive animal experience today.
Yes.
Okay.
I take a swig. I take my Bellini with me. Who gives it down? I'm taking my Bellini to the chicken coop.
Okay.
It's a to-go Bellini.
I'll be right back.
Okay, you circle around the back of the shack, and it's just a yard full of chickens.
Oh, thank God. Hi, chickens.
They kind of look up at you and cluck, and then go back to whatever it was they were doing.
I'm telling you, I can understand them. They can speak to me, and I can speak to them.
Do they have anything interesting to say?
They're chickens. They don't. They kind of go, "Hi," and then go back to whatever it was they were doing.
Adorable. I sit down in the dirt for a little while and drink my Bellini, surrounded by the chickens, just like smiling.
Yeah, some of them climb up on you in search of like, do you have food? One kind of pecks at the Bellini.
You can have a little Bellini as a treat.
Excuse you, little Bellini.
There's a chicken on my head, and I'm so happy. Okay, so Aviva's communing with the chickens.
She needed that.
The rest of you are having brunch.
Yes, and it's maybe one of the best things we've had off-ship in a long time.
As you guys are eating, you look over to another corner of the yard here, where all the cafe tables and chairs are, and you can see a human man, maybe like early 30s, dressed like nicely, but not as opulently as the guy at the export store was. He looks like he's trying to exude like non-threatening professional person. And he is, near as you can tell, kind of conducting interviews with various people who are coming and going.
So while he looks this way, does he actually look, while he's trying to exude this business-like, does he actually look sleazy?
Roll an insight check.
Got it.
Or is he just a
23, I got a 20.
Shit.
Okay. You gotta say, he's pretty good. He's doing a very good job of putting on this, like, facade of 60s radio presenter. Like, very non-threatening, very friendly. Yeah. But you can tell, like, the way he's sizing people up and the way he's jotting notes down as he talks to various people. This is a very smart, very shrewd person who is very much in his element here.
Huh. Cacophony says, staring at him over her completely empty plate.
What?
That man. What do you think about him, Jill?
Looks like a dweeb who doesn't really belong here, frankly.
He's playing that up. He's a liar.
Yeah?
He's very intelligent. He's looking for something.
We are looking for something.
And you want to see what it is?
Yes, I do, of course.
Do you want me to go with you?
No, you two actually buying into it.
That's fair.
I'll be back.
All right, good luck.
She picks up her Bellini, finishes downing it, puts it down, and then heads over to him.
Arturus is gonna stare at this interaction the entire time, just blatantly stare.
And I just come back to actually eat my food. I take a chicken back with me. Try and stop me.
Yeah,
This
Jill,
is my favorite chicken. We have a bond.
I don't think you can... You're going to leave the chicken here, right?
Am I?
I don't think you can just... It would be very rude of the nice lady who actually fed us good food if you take one of her chickens.
Her name is Lucy.
Okay, well,
I decided this.
Did you ask the chicken what her name was?
I did, but I'm not sure that she understood the question.
Okay, well, it's
She's
nice...
not a very smart chicken.
It's nice to meet
but
you,
she's
Lucy,
nice.
but Lucy is an owned chicken. Cannot just take people's chickens because you gave them a name. That's rude.
I don't think you can own animals.
I'm pretty sure you can, like, very easily own animals. I'm pretty
You can
sure there's
own an
licenses
animal.
for that and everything.
I don't think that's right. I think that if Lucy was smarter, Lucy would want to be a free chicken and would
Lucy's
want to
not
hang out
smart,
with me.
though. Lucy's a chicken. Look, if you want a chicken, you'll need to talk to Josephine about it, but also you'll need to set up an entire coop for her on the ship. So that means you need to get Josephine's permission and Captain Bondar's permission.
Okay, I'll just have brunch with Lucy. Lucy
Okay.
can stay here. But can
Okay.
Lucy have brunch with us?
Yes, Lucy can have brunch
Cacophony
with
just
us.
left. Lucy can sit in Cacophony's seat.
Yes, Lucy can absolutely sit in Cacophony's seat and poke at the remains of Cacophony's meal. Juliana, nods at the chicken. It's like, it is lovely to meet you, Lucy. Thank you for joining us for brunch.
And Alviva, balks a little bit and is talking to Lucy the chicken and is like, well, Lucy's not exactly happy to meet you too, because again, I don't think Lucy understands most of what I'm saying, but, she's happy generally.
Lucy just kind of stands on the seat and just pecks occasionally at Cacophony's plate. And we're going to end this riveting scene so we can go over to Cacophony talking to this guy. So yeah, you approach this guy. Like I said earlier, human man, maybe, hang on, I had his height. He's a little on the short side for a lot of the dudes you've met recently, but average height for a human man, about 5'9".
God damn it!
You're taller than the halfling lady.
You did this to yourself.
I like the list of things that Kit just knows they have to put into any description. Are they an attractive woman? Are they an attractive man? What is the height for Arturus?
And what is the species?
And what is the species? How close to an animal are they for Alviva?
How much on a scale from 1 to monster?
On a scale of 1 to monster, he is unfortunately a 0. Like I said, very much like 60s TV presenter vibe. He's got a vest, he's got a tie, he's got that same sort of just tousled enough haircut. And as you approach, he kind of looks up at you and goes, "Oh, are you here for one of the interviews?"
Absolutely.
Excellent, excellent. Sit down.
She casually sits on the edge of the seat, puts one hand on the table, and leans forward.
He extends his hand for you to shake. I'm Imric, by the way.
You can call me Cacophony, dear. And she slips her hand into his and shakes firmly.
Cacophony, haven't heard one like that before. Well, how much have you been told about our little expedition here?
Absolutely nothing.
Perfect, perfect. I love explaining things. And he starts going through his papers. So, we are on an expedition to find the Nameless Tomb, which is one of the few tombs that has not yet been explored. So we are going to be exploring some brand new territory, which is very exciting.
That is very exciting.
Now, I have some notes here that indicate where the tomb might be, and it is looking like about a 4-day journey out to the east.
So they haven't made it 4 days to the east yet?
Well, you see, that particular part of the desert is a little bit overrun with various of the, I don't want to say wildlife, but problems that this planet has.
Undead infestation, etc.
That's a very accurate way of putting it, yes.
All right. And so we're going to this we're looking to go to this unexplored location to find the nameless tomb. 4 days away from here, to the east. And who have you gathered so far to go with you?
Well, I've got 3 interested parties so far, and a possible 4th on the hook, so slots are filling up fast.
Or am I the possible 4th?
No, you'd be the possible 5th.
Oh, all right. Okay.
The more the merrier, of course, but we do have limited supplies, so we need to make sure that we have a balance between people on the expedition and ways to feed them and keep them alive.
Oh, absolutely. Cacophony at this point is going to slip into a little thieves' cant, which I'm always taking as like coded slang. And so she's like, that's very interesting. What do you think about the weather that's going on out there? And I'd like to think that means something like, what do you think about the weather going on out there? So, like, what are you really trying to fool? Just to see if he responds.
He goes, oh, there's a bit of sandstorms, but nothing to worry about too much, I don't think.
Which I assume is just blissfully going past
over his head.
Okay.
Or at least he's very good at pretending it went right over his head.
Got it. Thank you, Max. All right, I understand. Thank you. Well, I'm already actually going on another expedition. I just came over here to see what you were going on about. I'm going to be real at this point.
Oh, that's honestly expected at this point. There's a lot of very curious people in this town, as you can probably tell.
I just noticed your personality, and I have to say I really enjoy it, honestly.
Well, thank you very much. I try to be pleasant. This is a very unpleasant place, and it's important to be polite and maintain some civilization.
I agree. Do you know what brunch is?
Yes, I do.
You are my second favorite person here in this village.
Well, that's great to hear. Thanks.
Absolutely. Anyway, I'm going to go back to my pals over there. Good luck on your expedition. I have no idea where ours is going. I didn't pay attention. I was too busy swooning for an attractive lady.
Oh, really? Which attractive lady?
Mm-mm.
Do you know Thazita?
His eyebrow goes up and he goes, oh, yes, I've heard about her. She works up at the illegal office, doesn't she?
Yes, she does. What have you heard?
I heard she's a member of some faction called the Seekers.
Ah, that's interesting. What are the Seekers?
The Seekers are kind of like space librarians, I guess would be the term for it. They go all over the place trying to gather as much knowledge as possible. I heard that they actually had their own sphere that was just completely full of books, but that might be just a story.
That's honestly incredible, and I am even more intrigued by her than I was.
Well, that's good to hear. You have fun now.
I will. You have fun too. If we see each other out there and there's some danger going on, I'll help you out, okay?
That's great. Have a great day.
Have a great day. And she gets up and heads back to her team. And finds his chicken in her seat.
This is Lucy.
Hello, Lucy. It's a pleasure to meet you. How's my leftovers?
Clucks.
She likes them. She had a good time.
So, how did all that go?
Oh, we're fine. He's a very pleasant man. He knows what brunch is.
Uh-huh. And what's he interviewing people for?
They're going out to search for the Nameless Tomb, a place 4 days east of here, straight into undead territory. I imagine we're going to run into him and his crew again.
Yeah, do you know what they want to go to the Nameless Tomb for?
To explore it and probably gather treasure.
Yeah, and we do what with the treasure? Sell it? Put it in a museum?
Probably sell it.
I imagine sell it for hard cash.
Okay, so you didn't let him know that we were also probably going to that tomb, right?
I let him know I had no idea where we were going. But that I was on an expedition because I don't know why else you would come to this damn planet.
Uh-huh.
I really don't think that one's a big secret. We're obviously adventurers, Jill.
I heard Thazita's name come up is all.
Yeah, I mentioned that I didn't know where we were going. I was listening to a pretty girl talk. Yes, I hear the pretty girl.
Okay, yeah, so he definitely knows we're going to the Nameless Tomb then.
Yeah. I mean, that's stated, I'm pretty sure most people are, based on what the captain said.
Sure. Okay.
Did you know that Thazita is a member of a group known as the Seekers, who are like magic space librarians?
Really?
Yeah. And they have like a whole ship full of books, supposedly.
Correction, a whole sphere full of books.
A whole sphere full of books.
I want to go to there.
That sounds so boring.
That sounds real good.
There's gotta be a bodice ripper section in the book sphere, though.
There's probably a bodice ripper continent.
Expedition to the continent of the bodice rippers.
Please.
Anyone can rip your bodice. It's not that difficult.
But it is an art.
It is an art, yes.
Anyone can rip a bodice, but you have to rip a bodice in a certain way.
That is true.
Anyway, we should probably, go peter about until dinner time.
Yeah, we can go see if the crew needs any help just getting everything back together on the ship, because I don't know that there's much else to do.
Yeah.
Probably buy some jerky stuff, which doesn't... I remember Kit saying, we're not keeping track of food, but, note, they have food.
Okay.
Yeah, honestly, the food costs are so negligible at this point. I'm not going to make you guys go shopping for food. I assume you guys have the supplies. Now, if you want
also
things like
note,
tents,
our cleric is now able to do level 3 spells, which means she can do create food and water, which is a ritual, so she can just take 10 minutes and feed us and drink.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
But if you want stuff like tents and stuff, you might have to go buy those.
So, point of, as soon as I went to level 7, even though I went rogue, I can still change my spells. I took Tiny Hut, so we're good on tents.
Cool. Tell me about Tiny Hut.
Tiny Hut is a ritual I can cast, so I don't need even spell slots for it. And what it does is it pulls up basically a 10-foot tent that we can all sleep inside. Nothing can enter or leave that I don't give permission to. And basically we're safe inside it for 8 hours.
Adorable.
Okay, I gotta adjust some maps then. Okay, done. I just had to delete some tents. It's fine.
Well, now we all share.
And we all share the one tent. I'm imagining it's like the Harry Potter tent, where it's very...
It's literally just a dome.
Yeah, it's a dome. It's like 20 feet across. So there's room for all of us.
So it's not bigger on the inside.
It's not bigger on the inside, no.
That'd probably be a much higher spell.
Yeah. But
Okay.
on the good side, nothing can enter that we don't want it to, and no spells can cross its boundaries unless we want them to.
Dang.
All right.
If we get
Cool.
scared in the middle of a fight, can we just hide in the tent?
I would have to cast it. It takes 1 minute to cast, so it'd be 10 rounds.
So, watch out for that.
All right.
So let's go back to the ship and fiddle fart for a
Yeah.
couple hours, I guess.
Yeah, we go back to the ship, fiddle fart, help them repair things.
Let's fritter around an afternoon and do some chores.
Okay, cool. We're gonna skip that because it doesn't make for good radio and go straight to you guys heading up for dinner that night.
Yes.
Well, brunch was pretty good. I hope dinner's solid.
It should be solid. I believe in Josephine.
Yeah, no, honestly.
It was delicious.
We head to the dinner area and sit down around a big table.
Well, it'd have to be if you push a couple of tables together.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Tazita joins you shortly, wearing the exact same thing she was earlier today. She does not appear to have dressed up at all.
Cacophony has, of course, changed her outfit, but she's trying to stay in the vein of Adventure Planet. So she's now wearing, she's basically going Lara Croft.
Okay, cool.
But sexy.
Wait, I thought I was going Lara Croft.
You were, but I'm doing a variation on it. I'll go more elegant Lara Croft, actually. It's kind of got I'm kind of wearing a black skirt, or I guess a brown skirt.
No.
Well, some.
You know what? It's fine.
I know she wears shorts, but I'm going elegant here, okay?
Okay. Elegant shorts, fine.
Fine. Brown skirt and kind of like a blue elegant. One of those kind of drapey, flowy things that's kind of triangular in the front and back, and it cuts up at the hips.
It's fine.
I know what I mean. Don't
Yeah.
worry. But yeah.
Okay, so
Also
Tazia
straps.
comes over to join you guys. Still got her nose in a book, flipping through it very intently. And he says, "Oh, hello. Thanks for joining me."
Absolutely. We're just delighted to get to know you.
Cool.
You can sit next to me.
She kind of looks around and sees that there's not really any other empty seats and sits down.
Just as we planned. High five.
Secret high five.
Low
Under the
five.
table, high five.
Yes.
Am I mean enough to put chicken on the menu is the question.
Most of the time, the chicken is too expensive to be eating.
Yes, I know.
Also, listen, Aviva's from the woods. Despite loving the chicken, Aviva would eat that chicken. These things are
That
not a contradiction.
Yes.
It's like raising cows.
Yes.
They don't give them names, they're food.
You name them, you love them, you eat them.
Yeah.
I've eaten chicken that I've raised.
It's the circle of life, etc., etc.
Little devils.
Yeah. You do note that Josephine doesn't really come out from behind the bar that much, so if you do want food, you'll have to go up and order it.
Yeah.
So what would everybody like to eat?
Thesita doesn't really look up from her book and goes, I guess the salt pork would be fine. And just keeps flipping.
What are you reading, Thesita?
It is a translation of some of the texts here on Harena that you can see here. And she looks, turns it around to point at it and says, you can see that these sections here have just been completely blacked out.
Oh, that's ominous.
Like redacted
Yes.
or by someone?
Oh no! You see, the translator was actually quite clever, and they wanted to recreate the experience of reading what was written on one of the walls, and there was actually a section on the wall where the entire section had just been chiseled out. So he's filled in all of these black spots to show you what it would have looked like, and it's very fascinating.
Oh, that is interesting.
That's deeply ominous.
It's super, 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 super ominous, yeah.
Super ominous, but deeply interesting. Comparative literature is incredible.
Yeah, all accounts of the nameless tomb have been blacked out in a similar way. It's fascinating.
So wait, why does everybody want to go there? Besides the fact that it hasn't been ransacked?
Well, the fact that it hasn't been ransacked is a large part, and I think the treasure hunters are interested because they haven't found it yet, and they've got that personality type that makes them want to do things and accomplish things they haven't before, right? That's their interest at the very least. My interest is that there could be some fascinating cultural insights here because, as you can probably tell, most of the planet has been tramped over by this point, and it's very, very difficult to find things in their original context without interference from later parties.
That makes sense. That's actually a very noble endeavor to learn more about the culture and everything that's going on around it.
What's actually known about the culture, then?
Not a whole lot, unfortunately.
Anything?
Do you have a theory, Thesita, on why the tomb has been scratched out and erased from all records? Why they might do that?
Well, there is evidence of some political upheaval shortly before the civilization here died out, which was tied to the event that caused one of the stars to collapse, and she points upward at the star orbiting a black hole.
Mm-hmm.
So my theory is that it has something to do with that. Possibly a rebel leader, or possibly some kind of other, maybe the incumbent monarch that was supposed to be they tried to erase from history. It's not uncommon in various revolutions throughout various planets for these things to happen. But
do you think it might have to do with a super evil lady showing up and causing untold destruction?
That's why an evil lady.
I mean, I was supposed to think of the Takaris.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
oh no,
that would have been a long time ago. We're talking.
Yes, we're looking at almost 1,000 years ago that this happened.
Mm-hmm.
It's a cursed tomb.
Hey, question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Jill's gonna pull out her journal and just sort of flip to some of the pages where she's scribbled down the cult insignia. Does this look familiar to you at all?
She pulls out her translation book and she holds it up next to it, and you can see that the blacked out section almost perfectly covers that ritual circle that you found in Port Meridian.
Uh-huh. Well,
that is fascinating.
Zena, I think we might have some idea what's going on there.
Really? What do you have?
Something that we should probably not talk about where there's lots of people around.
Oh, well, that's unfortunate. Okay, then we'll get dinner done very quickly, and then we can go back to the library and look some things up.
That would be great.
Artie, whenever we go to the library, can you just pose and look attractive?
Of course, always.
Thank you.
Well, at least we're on the right track then.
All right, so you guys have dinner, and it is mostly it's either preserved food or stuff like the chicken eggs that they can get a pretty steady supply of with very little input, so to speak, food. So it's well enough. Josephine's a good enough cook that this is edible, but it is definitely Great Depression food.
Fair.
There's canned beans. There's various kinds of canned vegetables that have that weird canned vegetable taste to them. There's preserved meats of various kinds.
Lots of pickled stuff, huh?
Yeah, lots of pickles of various kinds.
Ooh.
Capers.
But you guys wrap up, and Thesita goes, okay, so I'd like to get back to the library and see if we can compare any notes.
Yeah, that'd be great. You guys all want to come? Some of you want to go back to the ship. Artie, you seem super duper bored.
I'll come along.
Yeah, I might as well come along. Don't have anything else going on.
I mean, I do like goss, so I'll listen in, but I'm not reading it.
That's fair.
All right, we all go. We do that.
Okay. So you all head back to the library, and you can see that the legal office is actually two halves. And the first half is the actual offices devoted to the Navy, and then the second half is what is quite clearly Thesita's research library. She's been given a lot of space to work here. And there are a lot of texts around, although most of it you're finding is stuff that she had notes that she has scribbled up herself and various translations that she has had imported. And she immediately just kind of dives into the pile of papers that she has on a nearby table and starts going through them. Then eventually pulls out, okay, so here's some of the original rubbings from the book, from that particular translation. And she pulls them out, and it's just this great big sheet of paper that she puts down on the table.
Awesome.
And then she pulls out another big sheet of paper and lies it next to it because that wasn't big enough to cover the design. And you can see that, yeah, it's there is definitely, somebody has taken a chisel to what was possibly a ritual circle and then just blanked out the whole thing very thoroughly. There are little chips around the edges and little bits that were missed, but for the most part, the whole thing has been erased rather effectively. This was a very boring rubbing to do.
Okay, so here's the thing, and she's got the ritual circle reproduction scribbled out there laid out on the table. This is a speaking circle for some kind of god, some kind of extremely powerful creature called the World Eater, as far as we can tell. We don't really have much on specifics beyond that, aside from the fact that there's a cult surrounding it, and everybody who seems to be in this cult is super duper evil.
Well, that's fascinating. And if this does indeed match, that would indicate the cult going back at least 1,000 years to when the star collapsed here on Harena.
I get the feeling that might be related.
Well, the name World Eater sure does seem like it's associated with, and she points out to the sky, that, doesn't it?
Yeah. So, if this tomb is somehow related to this and this cult, then the real big hanging question is, what's buried there?
Well, I'm very eager to find out, but we will need to take appropriate precautions to make sure that we don't disturb anything.
Yeah.
Such as?
I think that'd be smart.
Well, the remains sometimes found here on Harena have a tendency not to stay immobile. So we want to make sure that we don't accidentally break out anything that is unpleasant.
And how does one accidentally break out something unpleasant?
Indiscriminate use of explosives to try and uncover more treasure, usually.
Okay, well, hey, Cacophony, who was that guy you were talking to?
His name was Rick.
Was it? Rick?
Imric. His name was Imric.
Enric.
I just heard the Rick part, and I was like, oh, great.
Yeah, I bet you did.
IMRIC.
Okay, well, we did encounter a dude named Imric who... What direction do you think the tomb is?
About 4 days east of here.
Yep.
That's where he's going. Precisely.
Oh.
So we're going to have company, we're probably going to have loud company, and we're going to have treasure hunters.
Oh, God, no. This is very unfortunate.
Could we leave early to start getting ahead of them?
Unfortunately, the sailheads, as they feed on sunlight, they don't move well during the night.
Well, hypothetically, he doesn't know that we're actually mounting an expedition at the same time.
Oh, well, that's a relief. That means he might actually delay to get more people if he doesn't feel the pressure to catch up with us.
I do have the ability to hide our tracks and make sure that at least if we get out first, he won't be able to follow behind us.
That would be helpful. At least he won't be able to follow our trail or tell that we're ahead of him.
Yeah, that'd be good to at least start out with for the first however long you can keep that up.
For an hour.
At the moment, he's only got 3 people with a 4th possibly on the hook. So if we could convince the 4th, if we could find them to not take him up on that, that might slow him down as well.
Or speed him up.
Well, either way, we need to get going as soon as we possibly can then.
All right, so we should probably leave at dawn tomorrow then.
Right.
Sounds good.
All right.
What else do we need to actually make sure that we've got everything before we go?
Well, you'll probably need some form of shelter if you don't already. I have my own tent, but it only sleeps one.
I have the ability to cast a spell now where we can all sleep inside and be safe from any outside monsters like undead trying to kill us.
Wonderful. That sounds perfect. Food and water, obviously, but I'm sure you're well stocked up on those.
Yep.
Yeah.
Maybe climbing gear, because we'll be heading into the cliffs.
Okay.
And aside from that, and she looks around at some of you. Have you considered maybe getting a little more coverings to keep the sun off and the heat?
This is all magic. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
What would you recommend,
I just don't want
though?
I don't want any of you to cook inside of your armor, because that would be very unpleasant for everyone.
Wait, that can happen?
I do that regularly to enemies, so don't worry.
Look, I got the melanin for it, but I'm also wearing plate. What would you suggest?
Maybe just like a hood or a cloak of some kind that's white that will help keep the sun off.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Like a real one, not a magic one.
Not a magic one. I don't think the magic will actually do the job if it's an illusion. Because like albedos and things.
Yep. Sure.
So, yeah, I will get all of my things ready to meet you tomorrow then.
Sounds good. Yeah.
Sounds good. Dawn at the stables?
Yes, still meet me at the stables. Do try to be subtle on your way through town. Make sure not to draw too much attention.
We will give that the old college try.
Cacophony kind of looks very awkward at that.
Yeah, sidebar to anyone who wants to roll an insight check real quick.
Wow, my good roll, and I rolled for shit.
No good.
12.
You know, Artie's gonna be looking around, so he may as well. It's not gonna be good, though. Probably.
What?
Oh, no! It's not gonna be good. I think it's the best roll.
Prospero.
Dirty 20 right there!
Okay, Rio, I'm gonna whisper something to you.
Ooh. Ooh.
If I can do it properly.
Tell it to me. Alright. Kit, you did DM me. Thank you for that information.
You're welcome.
Wow.
Okay, so so Artie has an insight that none of you guys else have had. I'm very excited about this.
This is the worst
It's a
person
rare-
to have information.
Rare opportunity. Yeah.
The worst person to have secrets.
So you guys are headed out of the library?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, cool. So presumably headed back to the ship?
Yep.
Yep.
So next morning at dawn, you get your supplies together. I'm just going to presume that you have like climbing gear and stuff, because that would have been available on the ship. And you guys head out to the stables.
Do we have cloaks and junk?
I think you could find like a white cloak on the ship that you can just throw over yourself to keep from cooking inside of your armor.
Cool.
A bed sheet or something.
Much obliged.
Yeah. So you guys head out to the stables.
I make sure to set up our new statues in Maya Viva's room
Yes.
appropriately and aesthetically around the room.
Yes, we have fun putting up our knickknacks.
Do our cats? I'm going to put this before you, Alexi. Do our cats stare at the door to scare anybody who tries to enter our room?
Oh, yeah. Well, and they keep our bunk beds safe. It's like you've got yours looking after yours, I've got mine looking after mine.
Perfect.
Yeah.
It was very important set piece.
It is. It's very important to establish. I haven't named it
Excellent.
yet, because it's a big responsibility to name a pet.
So we're good?
Yeah, we can do plot now.
We can do plot now? Okay, cool. So you guys head out to the stables where Thazita is there talking to the same elf lady that Alviva you saw yesterday. And there are 5 sailheads saddled up and bridled up and ready for you guys to get going.
How did they have a bridle if they don't have a mouth?
They can
The
still have
bridle
a
just kind of
face.
loops around the muzzle, but there's no
Okay.
bit.
Huh.
It looks like that you're not using them to guide the animal so much, because the purpose of the bridle is to like tug on either
So
side of
it's
the
a
horse's
halter.
mouth to get it to turn. It's
see.
more of a halter, and it's mostly there for you to hang on to.
Fair enough.
These things are very follow the leader, so you get them turned in the right direction, and they'll just walk.
Juliana pats hers on the neck.
It seems pleased.
Yay. I look pointedly at the elf lady as I reach out and pet my sailhead.
she's not paying attention to you at all.
Yeah, that tracks.
Cecita approaches you guys and goes, excellent, excellent. So we are just about ready to go if you guys are.
Yeah, I think we're set.
Yeah.
Perfect. And you can see the elf woman just kind of directs the sailheads over to the right direction and then just like physically pushes on them to turn them in the right direction.
Oh my gosh.
Once they're all pointed in the right
Delightful.
direction, she indicates for you guys to mount up and heads back to the stables.
Cool.
All right. And once we are all gathered, I will cast Pass Without Trace.
Cool.
So I'll burn up some mistletoe and spruce, and while I concentrate for up to an hour, there'll be a veil of shadows and silence radiating from me, masking me and my companions from detection. So everyone would need to stay within 30 feet, but we have a bonus to stealth checks, and we can't be tracked except by magical means. And that includes creatures, so they don't leave behind tracks or other traces of the passage.
Great. Then daylight's burning, spell slots are burning, let's go.
Gem Jammer is performed by Lexi Peppers, Annie Creighton, Kit Walker, Mackenzie Weaver, and Rio, and is edited by Jake Mason. Our character designs are by Rio, who you can find at vriosart on Twitter, and our cover art is by Canary Witch, who you can find at doodlesfromthebird.tumblr.com. Our opening and closing music is by Reckoning Storm AudioWorks. For more episodes of this show and our other shows, as well as news, check out our website at crookedrussiancamp.horse.
I mean, if it doesn't work, you can't just, DM them on Discord or something.
I don't think you have my number to text. I don't know how that works with Canada.
The same way phone numbers generally work.
We are a civilized nation. We have phones.
Oh.